Welcome to MBA Solutions. I am Manjunath, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Business Administration, VVC, Mysuru. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos on managerial economics and management and organizational behavior. In this video, we will understand and discuss how attitude is formed. So in our previous video, we discussed what is attitude. So attitude is an evaluative statement which has been made about an object, people or event, and that will impact our feeling, emotion and thought, and which is reflected in our behavior. And how this attitude is formed, or what are the factors which influence this attitude. So first one is family and peer group. Because of family and peer group, we try to develop a favorable or unfavorable judgment about a situation or people or object, and based on that our behavior change. Either we show positive or negative attitude towards the situation or people. For example, in your family, if your family members give a lot of respect to guests, and you have learned that you have to give respect to guests, so in your mind you believe guests are very important. Since they are very important, you treat them well, you like treating them well. That is the effect. And finally it will be influenced in your behavior. When they come, you greet them, you smile at them, you treat them well. So family and peer group influence attitude. And economic status. Person's economic status talks about how much financially well versed or financially strong a person is. Economic status will tell the way you analyze money or money's worth. It will tell you how you analyze if people have money and if people don't have money. Since you have money, you don't care for money. Sometimes people who have a lot of money, they may show some negative attitude towards people who does not have money. And sometimes people who does not have money may show a negative attitude towards people who have money. That is because of they believe that people who don't have money or who have money are inferior or superior to them. For example, if a person has a lot of money, he thinks or he may feel or he may have that belief that people who does not have money is inferior to him and he don't respect them. And that is indicated in your attitude, which is a negative in nature. Neighborhood, people around us, people next to us, or society will always influence our attitude because they influence our mindset that will be reflected in our behavior. And mindset, feeling or emotion and behavior is nothing but attitude. Experience with the object. If you have a very good experience with the object, then your attitude or your feeling towards that is very good. People like dogs. Why they like dogs? Because their experience with dogs are very pleasant. So they believe the dogs are very good. And when they believe dogs are very good, they start loving dogs. And when they start loving dogs, they try to play with dogs. They feel happy when they see the dog. But if some people have negative experience about dogs, some people have got some problems or issues because of dogs, then they have negative attitude towards dogs. As soon as they see dogs, they get irritated and angry. So experience with the object also influence your attitude. Mass communication, nowadays media, mass communication, social media, all these influence people's mindset. And when people's mindsets are influenced, it will be reflected in their emotion and behavior, and that is attitude. For example, recently we have CAA, that is Citizenship Amendment Bill, and if you see in many parts of the country, a lot of people came on road to fight against this amendment or passing of the act. And some media were showcasing that the act is good, and some media are showcasing the act is not so good. So, mass communication can change people's mindset, and this can be influenced in your behavior and attitude, and that is how attitude is formed. The next one is classical conditioning. So, classical conditioning talks about learning procedure in which biologically powerful stimulus, for example, food, is paired with previously neutral stimulus. So, very strong stimulus, very strong object which triggers you to respond and react is stimulus. We will show that in the beginning, and it will be paired with neutral stimulus. That means this stimulus is not so important. This particular object will not trigger you to respond or react, but still we do inculcate that particular stimuli for you to respond and react. Let us see this example. Once there was a dog, and as soon as dog sees the food, it starts salivating, because when dog sees the food, it gets hunger and it starts salivating. If the same dog sees the bell, or if the same dog hears the sound of the bell, it will not salivate, because bell is not the food. So here food talks about powerful stimuli to the dog, and bell is neutral stimuli, because if dog sees the food, it will salivate because it becomes hungry. If dog listens to the sound of the bell, it will not salivate, because bell is not food, it is a neutral stimuli. Now what the experiment is done is, as soon as the bell rings, we will keep the food in front of the dog, and dog starts salivating. So every day we ring the bell, we keep the food in front of the dog, and dog starts salivating. This happens over a period of time, and at the end, if we ring the bell and if we don't keep the food, still dog salivates, because it has been conditioned. His mind has been conditioned, or dog's mind has been conditioned, that if the bell rings, you get the food. So as soon as the bell rings, even the food is not there, the dog will make its mind saying that now food will come, and it starts salivating. It starts getting hunger. This is called classical conditioning. So we try to condition, we try to fix dog's brain into a particular learning framework, where as soon as the bell rings, it has to start salivating, even though the food is not kept. This is called classical conditioning. And next one is operant conditioning. Operant conditioning is where we reinforce or we give positive reward to increase positive behavior, and we give punishment to decrease negative behavior. For example, if I give incentives and rewards, you start performing better. If I punish you for certain activities, then you try to reduce those kind of behavior. So reinforcement is to increase positive behavior, and punishment is to decrease negative behavior. So when I want to decrease the negative behavior from the people, I go for punishment. If I want to increase their positive behavior, I go for reinforcement. So this is how I try to change their attitude, and this influences their attitude. And finally, vicarious learning, where we learn by observing and not through experience. And most of the time, our behavior changes when we see people taking specific action. For example, if somebody is rewarded in front of you, then you may also think that I also should get a reward like that. So when you see people or observe certain people, and based on that you learn and your behavior and attitude changes. This is called vicarious learning. And all these are the factors which influence in formation of a human being's attitude. Thank you very much for watching the video.